So in this session today, we're going to do a 4-stage mindfulness meditation, stepping through mindfulness of breath, of body, of sounds, and of thoughts. This is quite a complicated practice. It's going to last about 20 minutes. It invites us to shift our attention between different forms of experience and sensation, helping us to cultivate our ability to treat them all as welcome guests in our being. Hence, this meditation helps us to practice noticing and acknowledging, non-judging and returning, but also the crucial attitudes of openness and curiosity. It helps us to cultivate focus and the choice of where we might place our focus. So, coming now to sit. Taking a moment at the start of this practice to adopt a position, a posture that feels comfortable and stable to you. Remembering that you're going to be in this posture for about 20 minutes. Perhaps you're sitting in a chair, or you're on a cushion on the ground, or perhaps you'd prefer to lie down. If you are sitting, try to hold yourself in a way that embodies your intention to spend this time looking after yourself. Posture that feels dignified and unstrained. Perhaps you want to straighten your back, sitting away from the back of the chair so that you're self-supporting. Perhaps imagining that the crown of your head is being drawn up towards the sky. As we begin, it might help for you to give some thought to your attentions, your intentions for this practice. Perhaps composing an attitude of wakefulness and curiosity, but also of kindness and compassion towards yourself. So when you're settled and comfortable, you might allow your eyes to close, or just lower your gaze, let it fall out of focus, so that you're not disturbed by movements around you. So as we start this practice, I'd like you to invite your attention to your breathing, to the movement and the flow of each breath in turn. You don't need to breathe in a special way. You don't need to change how you're breathing. Just take a moment to become aware of what your breath feels like here and now. There's no right way to breathe, after all. There's just how you're breathing. So let's take a moment as we begin to see how our breath feels today. Just watching it move and flow by itself without needing you to do anything at all. Perhaps today you can feel it in one particular place in your body. Perhaps it's there in your nose, or it's in your throat. Perhaps it's in your chest, down in your abdomen. Perhaps it's not where you usually find it. It's somewhere different today because this is a different day. Wherever you feel it, that's what your breathing feels like for you right now. So just take some time to experience each breath in turn, gently and kindly, unhurried, unstrained, allowing each in-breath to be like a new beginning, and each out-breath letting go. At some point, I'm sure you'll find that your mind is wandering away to places you didn't intend it to go. Just noticing that your mind has wandered, because that's what minds do, congratulate yourself for noticing. And then gently invite your attention back to somewhere safe and secure. In this case, letting go of those thoughts and bringing your attention back to your breath, a safe place, a haven, an anchor for you in the here and now. And at some point, when you feel ready, seeing what it might be like to allow your breath to fill your body, letting this movement open your awareness to your body as a whole, allowing your breath to fade a little into the background of your attention, calling your body forth. Perhaps you can invite your awareness into the frontiers of your body, checking in to feel the space occupied by your body in the world around it. Perhaps you can feel those points of pressure between your body and whatever surfaces are supporting it. Perhaps you can feel the air or even the rain against your skin or in your hair. Or perhaps for you, particular parts of your body are calling out for your attention. If that's the case, see what it might be like to make the most of this time to allow your body the attention it needs. If your knees call for you, let your attention move down to your knees. If a shoulder calls for you, allowing your attention to move up to your shoulder. If your stomach or your head need a little extra care, letting your attention touch into them gently. Just taking the time to be open to the sensations that arise in your body and allowing your attention to move wherever it is called, either focusing in on particular parts in turn, releasing one as you move on to the next, or moving out to hold your whole body in your mind's embrace. Seeing what it might be like to touch into those sensations gently and kindly, as though you're just testing the temperature of a bath by dipping your little toe in. Seeing how that touch might change the sensations, send little ripples in the surface, or perhaps how they stay the same. Again, when you find that your mind is wandering away to places you didn't intend it to go, just noticing that your mind has wandered. That's what minds do after all. Perhaps congratulating yourself for noticing, and then gently inviting your attention back into your body. Letting your awareness be called as your body needs it. And then, when you're ready, allowing your body to drift a little into the background of your awareness, and instead seeing what it might be like to invite your attention into the sounds around you and within you. Perhaps it might help if you draw your attention up into your ears with a slightly deeper breath. So just taking a moment to feel the sounds around you. Perhaps they're coming from the sides, in front of you or behind you. Perhaps they're falling from above like rain, or rising from below you. Perhaps they're emerging from within you. Not trying to send your attention out looking for these sounds, but instead just waiting, just watching to see what sounds there are. Not searching, just opening to the sensations as they arise. And seeing whether it might be possible to experience these sounds in the same way that you experienced the sensations in your body, just as little events, little objects that don't require your action, don't require engagement. And as you're listening, perhaps you notice when your attention shifts from the sounds themselves and moves instead to creating labels or thoughts or stories about the sounds. Or perhaps you notice that the sounds cause echoes of emotion or memory for you. If this is the case for you, just congratulate yourself for noticing that your mind has wandered. That's what minds do. And then gently invite your attention back to the sounds themselves. Just seeing which sounds call to you now. Seeing perhaps what the silence in between the sounds might feel like. The gaps between my words. Being open to them all. Not judging them or engaging with them, just allowing them to be as they are. Those are the sounds you're hearing. That is the soundscape of the here and now for you. Just seeing if you can do this work on your own for a few moments. When you're ready, allowing the sounds just to drift into the background of your awareness, and instead seeing what it might be like to invite your attention into your thoughts. Perhaps it might help if you draw your attention up into your head with a slightly deeper breath. And then, just as we did with sounds, and with sensations in the body, seeing whether you can allow yourself just to be open to whatever thoughts arise. Seeing whether it might be possible to experience these thoughts just as little events or little mental objects that don't require action. They don't need your engagement. Whatever thoughts arise, that's just what's on your mind right now. While you're thinking, watching these thoughts, perhaps you notice when your attention shifts from the thoughts themselves and moves instead to creating labels and connections and stories about the thoughts. Or perhaps you notice that the thoughts cause echoes of emotion or physical sensations for you. Perhaps you can feel judgments, attachments, or aversions arising. And if this is the case for you, congratulate yourself for noticing that your mind has wandered, since that's what minds do. And then gently invite your attention back to the thoughts themselves. So for many people, this is easier if we imagine our mind like the sky, vast and pristine and blue. And then our thoughts arise like clouds Some of them are small, light and fluffy, drifting freely on the breeze until they vanish once again. But some of them are heavy and dark and massive, full of rain, full of storms, buffeted by violent winds. And yet, even the storm clouds eventually pass. They fade into vapor, they fall as rain, they vanish over the horizon, leaving the sky blue once again. And remember, no matter how many nor how heavy the clouds, the sky is always there behind and beyond them, giving them space and allowing them to be. So let's see what it might be like for you to do this work on your own for a few moments, remembering that your breath is always there for you, a safe place, an anchor to which you can always return if you feel your mind wandering too far or into dark places. So now, as we start to bring this meditation towards its end, seeing what it might be like for you to sit for a while with whatever arises into your awareness at this moment, seeing what it might be like to sit in openness and curiousness, allowing your attention to be drawn by your body or by sounds or by thoughts, by whatever arises for you in this moment, seeing what it might be like to treat all of these things equally, just as events or objects that don't require any action from you. They don't require your engagement. Just seeing what it might be like to pay attention to whatever arises on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. Let's take a few moments to do this open work on our own. Finally then, when you feel ready, taking an opportunity slowly to open your eyes or to bring them back into focus, remembering as your attention begins to shift back into the world outside your body, remembering the gentleness, the kindness that you have shown yourself for the last 20 minutes, seeing what it might be like to take that attitude of compassionate curiosity with you into the rest of your day.